So as someone that's been YouTubing now for over 15 years, I do get the question that, well, Scott, what are the things that are going to allow you to succeed on YouTube? What's your honest advice? And so, well, I wanted to give you those here today. There are 3 things that can really help you if you're just starting. The very first thing is we need to focus on a specific niche. Like, if I'm going to go back and trace back like what has allowed me to be successful with using YouTube, and I say that because YouTube wasn't the only thing that made the businesses that I've built successful, okay? But with that being said, focusing on one niche and really one audience is what I've always focused on because everything else kind of falls in line. So if you think about it, if you are trying to serve someone that is a gardener, someone that travels, someone that likes to cook, someone that likes adventure, like it's kind of all over the place. So it's really hard to narrow your focus and really help that one person. Think about if you were going to have some type of event where you were going to invite 25 people to it. If you had someone that was maybe into this other thing, into maybe, like I said, kayaking, and then someone else is into gardening, and you are too, but it's not specific, it's going to be hard to really have a conversation with everyone that is on the same path as you or the same interest as you. Now, when we're trying to build a business around this is extremely important because what we want to do, and this is what I've always done, is we're building the audience first. Okay, so we're building the audience first, meaning we're getting the attention in the market that we have selected. Okay, so for the channel that I have built for the last 9 years, Brand Creators, that started as focusing on Amazon, e-commerce sellers, basically people that were selling on Amazon. That was the main focus. Now, we've since pivoted a little bit, but we're still talking about e-commerce. That's okay. We're still targeting people that are e-commerce sellers. We just are talking to people that might be selling on Amazon, people that might be selling on Etsy, people that might be selling on Shopify. There's different sub-niches in that one niche, okay? So when we do that, we're able to really serve the audience and build the audience, okay? And that's gonna lead us into the next important piece, which is, okay, we've got the target of who we are really trying to serve, right? We're zeroing in on them, okay, to help them and to get them to raise their hand and say, hey, over here, I'm interested in that. And then we're building that audience over time, okay? Now the next piece is, how are you going to turn that into a business? All right, well, it's actually pretty simple, but a lot of people overcomplicate it with like, well, don't you have to have everything going on social media and all these different channels, and don't you have to have a certification in order to charge money for a course and all of these things? And it's actually way simpler than that. So here's what I've done, and I'm just going to I'll trace it back to like when I first started and how I've then taken it to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, because it basically follows the same process. It's actually what I call it my YouTuber's 100K business plan. Okay, it's where I'm basically using, I call it the ARM method, the ARM. Basically, A is for attention, R is for relationship, and M is for money, monetization, okay? And so when I first started, my wife and I were starting a photography business, and we grew that business into our full-time living. Then I started to teach online or share online with other photographers that wanted to start their own business. And I did that. And I built the audience of people that wanted to start their own photography business. Now, here's the other thing. I went a little bit even more niche because I didn't want to just serve anyone in the photography space, like, maybe it's traveling photographers or nature photographers or wedding photographers. We wanted to go after family photographers because that's what we were doing and that's what we were good at. So I wanted to attract those people. So we started putting out content to attract those people. Once we started to build the audience, now we start building the relationship with the audience. How do we do that? Through this, through connecting just like we are right now on camera, whether I'm doing a tutorial showing you how to do something or whether it's me just sharing a little bit of some of the things that I've been through here on camera, answering questions like this one here. This was just asked and I said, you know what, we'll turn this into a video. Okay? So this is the relationship piece. Now, to take the relationship a little bit further and so we can communicate without having an algorithm in the way, basically YouTube's algorithm, I'm going to basically try to get you to join my email list because I want to give you more value and I want to connect with you. It's another channel to connect on. It's kind of like the kids are doing nowadays. I say the kids, like the teenagers. It's like they're all starting to talk on Snapchat. That's where it's like Snapchat, that's like the public forum, right? If we want to get serious, then we can go ahead and swap numbers. We can text, okay? I didn't realize this until my daughter told me, who's 16, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So you're kind of moving the relationship a little bit closer and closer and closer because you start to trust that person a little bit more. It's the same idea. So with email, I'm able to send an email to you. It's going to arrive in your inbox with no algorithm in the way. And that's super important, okay? So again, we have the niche. We're focusing on that. We're building the audience. We're building the relationship with that audience. And then there's going to be the monetization. And how do we do that? Well, for starters, if we are building on YouTube, our first way to get monetized actually isn't YouTube ads. It's actually affiliate stuff where we can recommend affiliate products. Like this here, I'm shooting this video on an Osmo 6. It's holding my phone up right now. I have the DJI mic right here. And I'm recommending that if anyone wants to go through our link, you'll buy us a cup of coffee. All right. So if you want to go in the link, you can do that, by the way. But I'm just using that as an example. If you are teaching people about gardening, there's going to be gardening tools. You're probably going to refer people to the gardening tools that you use. It's just a natural fit. And then you'll make a little bit of money there. Okay. Then the YouTube ad stuff, that's a bonus. That comes a little bit later. You do need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. That should be a target for you just because that's a good goal. It's like get 1,000 subscribers, get 4,000 watch hours. Good. We've jumped over that hurdle and we're building that audience. But the one thing you should be doing, and a lot of people don't talk about, is you should be building that email list. So I just mentioned the 100K roadmap. Like if you want that, just put 100K. If you do that, you're going to basically let me know that you're interested. You're raising your hand. I'm going to send you a link and you're going to go to that link and you're going to put your name and email address in on that page. From there, I'm going to send you an email. It's going to have the download in it. And then I'm going to be able to communicate with you. Hey, we're doing a live next week. You should come by and hang out with us, right? Or hey, I just shot a video. You should go check it out. Okay, it's deepening that relationship. But we also eventually could sell a course that you might be interested in or a tool that we recommend. So those are ways that we can now monetize. So the honest advice here is you don't have to, number one, think that you have to build this massive channel, and it doesn't have to be that complicated. You don't need a big team, okay? You can do this solo. You can be a solopreneur, all right? You do not have to have this massive audience, all right? Now, if you want to hear more about that story, about how I was able to start my first channel, build it up to 1,000 subscribers, and turn that into my first $12,500 online, and actually turn that into a 6-figure business, go right here. I'm going to put that video up there. I think you'll find it useful. You'll probably learn a thing or two. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there.